For 10 years, they cut me off from family gatherings and thought I was finished, but when they showed up at the door of my luxurious home begging for help, I quietly took a revenge they never saw coming. The doorbell rang like someone had come to claim a right, not to ask for forgiveness. I looked at the camera screen and saw my older sister, Laura, and her husband Mike standing on my porch. For 10 years, they had kept me out of Thanksgiving, Christmas, even Mom's birthday. And now here they were, standing at the door of my luxurious home, files in their hands and that same familiar arrogance on their faces, only this time, it was mixed with panic. I didn't open the door right away. I let them wait a few seconds, just long enough for them to feel small. Then I opened it and simply said, "Yes?" Laura forced a smile. "Amy, we need to talk to you. It's important." Important. That same word she used years ago when they decided to sell Mom's house and didn't bother calling me. When I lost my job and was suffocating under hospital bills, nothing had been important then. Back then, I lived in a tiny apartment in Chicago. Student loans, credit cards, and then the accident that put me out of work for 6 months. The medical bills piled up until I stopped opening envelopes. Somewhere in that time, my name disappeared from the family group text. "We thought you were busy," Laura had once said. The truth was simpler. They were embarrassed by me because I wasn't successful. But I rebuilt myself. I took night classes at a community college, learned coding, started freelancing. At first small projects, then a big contract. I saved money, paid every bill on time, repaired my credit. 5 years later, I launched a small startup. 3 years after that, the company was bought out. The house they stood in front of now, this big, quiet place with high ceilings and sunlight pooling on the marble floors, came from that deal. I hadn't invited anyone. I didn't feel the need. "Can we come in?" Mike asked. His voice didn't carry the confidence it used to. I stepped aside. As they walked in, their eyes flicked up the tall foyer ceiling, the wooden staircase, the soft lighting. Laura whispered, "Wow, you did well." I shrugged. "I worked." "We Saturday." She opened a file. "We're in trouble," she said. "Mike was laid off. We're behind on our mortgage. We were hoping, maybe you could loan us something. Just temporary. We'll pay it back." This was the moment I had imagined more than once. The day they'd come to me, humbled, and I'd give them a taste of what they'd given me. A part of me felt that old sting, but alongside it was something calmer, steadier. "How much?" I asked. She told me. "A large amount, though not impossible for me." I nodded. "I can help. But it won't be a loan." They stiffened. "Then what?" Mike asked. "It'll be an investment," I said. "You'll sell your house. Move into a modest rental. I can connect Mike with one of my business partners. He owns a manufacturing company. But everything stays under my name until you're financially stable again." Laura's face flushed. "So you want to control us?" "No," I said evenly. "I'm offering you the security you never gave me. When I was drowning, you said I was embarrassing the family. Today, I won't let you drown. But I also won't close my eyes and hand you money." Silence filled the room. Outside, I could hear a lawnmower buzzing somewhere down the street. It was an ordinary Sunday, but for me, it felt like 10 years balancing themselves on a scale. Mike finally spoke. "We made mistakes, Amy. We thought you'd never bounce back." "I thought that too," I admitted. "But I did. For myself, not for any of you." Tears gathered in Laura's eyes. "We kept you out of events because you always looked sad. We didn't know what to say." I let out a small laugh, not bitter, just tired. "So you chose to say nothing. That was also a choice." I explained the terms, legal, straightforward, no tricks. If they worked hard, everything would return to their names within 3 years. If not, I would sell the house and recover my money. Clean, simple. They left around dusk. When I closed the door, I stood there for a long moment. I had taken revenge, but not the kind I once fantasized about. Not revenge through yelling or humiliation. My revenge was that I hadn't become them. My power stayed quiet, but unmistakable. Over the next months, things changed. Mike actually worked. He came to meetings at 7 a.m., took notes, asked smart questions. Laura took a part-time job. They sold their big house. For the first time in years, we had coffee together, not formal, not stiff, just normal. She said, "I'm proud of you." A sentence I had never heard in childhood. Did I forgive them? I still don't fully know. But I freed myself from the weight they carried in my mind. Family is still complicated. Dinners are still awkward sometimes. But I'm not on the outside anymore. And if anyone tries to push me out again, I know now, I don't break. I rebuild. That day at my door, I could have crushed them. Instead, I held up a mirror. And maybe that was the deepest revenge, because for the first time, they saw me. Not the version of me that made them comfortable, not the girl they pitied or judged, but the woman I had become on my own terms. And standing in that moment, watching them walk away with the contract in hand, I realized something I hadn't understood even while building my company. I didn't need their approval. I never had. What I needed was my own acknowledgement that I had survived everything they turned away from, and built a life big enough that they had no choice but to face me again. And when they did, I wasn't the one trembling. They were. Thank you for staying with this story until the end. If this journey moved or inspired you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories every week. We truly appreciate each and every one of you.